This one is for Jennifer. What have you learned over the years due to working with me? In other words, the impact you've seen on clients. Obviously, you do all the moderation on social media, so you see all the comments, good and bad. You block the people that are jerks, obviously, because the way I look at it is our community is like an NFL locker room, and you want people that are positive, they're optimistic, because life is hard enough. We're all surrounded by people that have nothing but negative things to say because that's where they live, and so when people come in our community, I want them to feel supported and nurtured. And somebody that's just being an asshole, it's like I don't need that in my life at this point. And so you obviously see all the comments, you see the praise, the success stories. So how has the work helped you and help you help others?
Well, I'll first talk about the comments on the YouTube. I look at every single comment that's posted on YouTube. It's the first thing I do every morning after, I sit down at my computer. And what I've noticed is the comments are more and more positive in the past year or two. There used to be a lot of skeptics in the comments, a lot of anger and hostility, and I had to block a lot of really angry people, and I don't have to do that as much anymore. It's been a lot more positive. And I also like to see the comments of the guys that are like, I used to follow you and I just came back and I can't believe that I haven't been back here and I'm so glad I'm back. Like, that's kind of cool to see. People that used to follow you, probably got in a relationship,
Yep.
did a little backslide, and they're back and they're like,
I got
wow.
this. I don't need to watch these
Yeah,
videos
and they
anymore.
come back and they're like, wow, I don't know why I ever left. That's kind of cool to watch. But for the most part, I will say about the YouTube comments is that it's just been overwhelmingly positive lately. A lot of people, so many success stories. Corey does one or two stories, with each one of his video newsletters, but there's so many. There's thousands of them that come in. Like, he can't even address 5% of them. There's so many success stories. So that's kind of cool. I like that part. I like seeing all the scenarios. But in my personal life, I think I started working with Corey after my divorce while I was in another relationship. And then since I've left that relationship. And the way that he's helped me personally is he's helped me look for red flags. And that's not anything that I ever did. I think I did it subconsciously, like that's weird, or I noticed something was off, but I never actually took the time to break it down and analyze the person, their background, where they're coming from, what they're looking for, strange behaviors, and putting the pieces together. Wow, what a difference that makes if you catch red flags right out of the gate. I mean, my last relationship, love him, greatest love of my life. God bless him. But wow, I missed a lot of red flags. I think I just wanted to believe that it was just going to be okay because I wanted to be in love. I didn't want there to be anything wrong. But now going forward, being able to catch them right out of the gate, and you cover lots of red flags. You do. That's been the greatest thing I've walked away with. And I wish I would have had that before I ever got married, So if I had all this information, like everybody always says, I wish I had known all
found you
this.
sooner.
I wish I had known all this earlier, but I know now, so it's okay. I'll try to pass it along to my kids and whoever else comes along. But there's a lot in there. Red flags are important. We can ignore them because we want the love story. We're projecting what we want onto that person. And we want it to be true, so we'll ignore a lot and we'll forget about it. But
this is fine.
Everything's fine.
It'll be okay. It's not a big deal.
I got like a literal warning, like from one of his old friends, like be careful, like watch yourself. And I was like, whatever. Then, like they just don't like him.
It's
like,
fine. Yeah.
No, I know.
I saw an interesting comment on social media or video, YouTube, TikTok, I don't know where it was, and it said that when we go into relationships, we're trying to impress the other person. So we're trying to be like them so that they like us. So we're falling in love with ourselves because they're projecting what they think that we would like. So it's like a mirror.
People
Isn't
put
that
their best
weird?
foot forward. It's, they're selling the image of what
They think
they
you'll
want
like.
you to. Yeah, exactly. Like I talked about in my first book, is that people can hide who they are for about the first 90 days of a relationship. And then by that point, you get so comfortable with each other. And, typically if there's a lot of chemistry between the two, after like 90 days, you're either staying at her house, she's staying at yours, and you're together just about every night. And when you're around somebody that much, then they start to feel comfortable, and then the mask kind of slips. They really can't cover up who they are. It's like initially they're selling you. It's like going and buying a car. The salesman's painting the picture of how great the car is, and then after you buy it, you find out there's a recall in the catalytic converter, or the engine block leaks, or it has the dashboard, the electronics go out, and that's common knowledge. But obviously the salesman never told you about those things. And it's not until you test drive it for a few months that you start to see that there's a lot of problems with that car. It's like you see, wow, it's brand new, it's beautiful, it smells good, it looks good, it feels good. And then after a few 90 days, and you're like, now you really get to see what they're like. But by that point, you're kind of in la la land, and you're in the honeymoon period, and you're glad to finally be in a relationship again, and you're comfortable, and then you think, I don't want to go be single again, and it'll be all right, we can work it out, we can communicate, or I can fix this and that person, that kind of thing. And so we talk ourselves into staying, because then you don't want to go back to your friends, your family, and go, oh, it didn't work out, or like, oh, I thought you guys were so great together, what's wrong, or you should talk and work it out.
There's so much pressure in society for people to pair up. I don't know why that is. Like, I'm kind of enjoying being alone for the first time in a really long time. And why is there so much pressure? Like, why do we have to always be paired up? I don't get
You
that.
got to remember, everybody is trying to validate their own choices and their own model of the world. And if they're not in that great of a relationship, or they're in a mediocre relationship, or they have some of the same problems that you're having with the person that you're dating, and they're not addressing them, is that they try to convince you to just kind of look past that, because their life choices get validated if you make the same ones. But if you leave because of those same red flags you see in your relationship that they see in theirs, and maybe they've been in it for several years, maybe they got kids together or whatever, it's uncomfortable and it's unpleasant to them. It mirrors to them what they don't like about their relationship. And if you have the guts to leave yours when you recognize that things are just foobarred and they're not good, then it causes them to reflect on their own life. And most people don't like that.
It's uncomfortable. Makes
Yeah,
them feel
exactly. So they'd
uncomfortable.
rather just sweep it under the rug because they're busy paying their bills or living their life, and they don't want to deal with it. They don't want to address it.
Facts.